Hola controles, bienvenidos a su podcast El After. El día de hoy tenemos un invitado muy especial. Este podcast es en inglés. Lo pueden revisar con subtítulos en Facebook o en YouTube. O los que lo escuchan en Spotify, bueno, va a estar en inglés. Cedric Talamasca, how are you, my friend?
Happy to be here, finally. It's a long time I haven't been in Mexico, actually, and Monterrey also. So yeah, really happy to be here.
Yeah, you're playing in a killer place here. We are on an amusement park. We are in the theater. Looking forward for your 2 hours set, close the party, kill the dance floor. How do you feel being back into Mexico after?
No, Mexico is, if not the one, is really one of my favorite countries to play. I mean, I come here for so long. I have so many memories here. So no, really, I'm super happy. Well, it's not like I'm happy to come back, because for me, I never stop to come back, you know? It's just like, no, it's been a long time, because since the COVID, I think I've been here only once. So yeah, it's a long time. Normally I come like twice a year or something like this. So yeah, you're right, it's a long time, and then I'm very happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you back. We basically here talk about, like people know Cedric from Talamasca long time ago.
Well, the people who were there a long time ago, they know.
So basically here is how you started into all this high trance world. How do you start into music? What was your first approach?
Okay, let's try to make it short. Before to speak electronic music, I was playing piano when I was a kid. I didn't like, but my mother forced me because she wanted that I play the piano. And so when I was a kid, I played the piano. Then teenager, I played the piano, but I was punk, man. I wanted to play the guitar, you know. And I played Bach and Mozart, and I was pissed. But I'm so happy she forced me, because now, you know, all the knowledge of the classical music, this is what I use in Talamasca. So even if I didn't like then, I'm really happy my mother forced me. And if your kid doesn't want to teach music, to learn music, force him. Yeah, man, it's a knowledge. And then, okay, I became like punk and heavy metal. And in '92, when I was like 17, my best friend bring me to a party. There was no trance in that time. It was techno, hardcore, gamer, little bit house in the beginning of the party, because it was not exclusive in styles. There was rave parties with many styles inside. So I saw my first one in '92, February '92, and then that's it for me. I found my path. I know this is what I want to do in my life. So it was not trance yet, but I knew I want to be a DJ, electronic music, this is the future, and this is really how I felt. Even if I didn't like electronic music before, because I was classical music and heavy metal, so which is very epic and melodious and harmonious, and suddenly electronic music in that time for me was like noise, you know. And in that time, like many people, I believe that you didn't need to be a musician to make electronic music, which was not the case. It's the case now. But in that time was not the case. If you want to make music, you need to be a musician anyway. Then I saw Jean-Michel Jarre when I was 16, and it changed also my thinking of the electronic music, because before to see Jean-Michel Jarre on stage, again, I was thinking that electronic music is not real music, it's the computer, you know, like many people. And then I saw Jean-Michel Jarre and whoa, okay, this is music. And this is the future. So this was my background before to be DJ. And then, as I told you, my first party in '92, very, very quickly after my first party, I wouldn't advise to do it, but I dropped school and I buy machine and records and not machines yet, because I didn't know I could compose yet in that time, but I bought a lot of records and 2 Technics turntable, and I learned to be DJ. And because I was going out a lot, I knew the promoter. So very easily, in '92, I started to be DJ in Paris, actually. '92, '93, I was playing mainly in art techno, hardcore parties. I was vinyl DJ with 3 vinyls together. I became a little bit famous because of my mixing techniques in that time, which is funny. Because then in Goa trance, we used that and there was no mix. That's why it took me some time. But in '93, I found the first Juno Reactor track, which was Proton High Energy, and okay, this track changed my life. I found that it's possible to make music in electronic music, because what I was playing was techno and gabber, but there was no music. You know what I mean? When I say music, I speak about harmonies and melodies and not just sounds. So when I found this Juno reactor, wow, okay, I discovered the beginning of Goa trance. And then a few weeks later, I went to London and I bought a lot of records. And inside this, there was this new label, Dragonfly and Tip. And this was the really beginning, you know, of the Goa trance. And I found in England, actually. And that's it, it changed my life. I wanted to do this, but I didn't know how to compose yet. I knew how to play the piano, I knew how to compose on the piano. I understood how it works, the electronic music system, because it's very basic, musically speaking. Yeah. But I didn't have a computer, I was young. But fortunately, because I became to be a little bit famous in Paris under the name of DJ Lestat, I met two producers and we became friends, and they offered me to make a band together. So Talamasca was born like this. We were three in the beginning, but it was not exactly like a band. It was two producers that they were teaching me how to make music on computer. So we did like 5 or 6 tracks together. But they had another project called Satrincha that was a little bit successful in that time. So it was from the beginning, it was planned that we just made few tracks, so they teach me how it works, and then I would fly on my own, which is exactly what happened. Because in 95, I think the first Talamasca track was in 95, maybe released in 96 because it took some time. And then in 97, if I remember well, I released my first album, Beyond the Mask. End of 97, maybe 98, you know, between the time when it's finished and when it's released, there is long time sometime. Like now in July, I finished my next release, and it will be released maybe, if I'm lucky, in 1 month and a half. So, you know, it takes some time. So I did my first album in 97, and that's it. Talamasca was born, and I've been very lucky that from the beginning, my first tracks were kind of hits, you know, in the scene. So I traveled all the world very young, and and I never stopped.
Yeah, you have like a very successful career. You have a lot of tracks, a lot of music, and you're like a big icon in this.
But nothing was planned. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I wanted to become a DJ, of course, but I mean, if I was born in a different place, if I was not born in Paris, just in France, but not in Paris, and I wouldn't have met the same people, I wouldn't go maybe to club, maybe I wouldn't like electronic music, I would have stayed in heavy metal, you know what I mean? Like, everything was a little bit between luck. I don't believe in destiny so much, but to make a shortcut, let's call it destiny also, you know, like, it's not like I choose exactly, this is how it happened. And I never done anything else in my life. You know, I don't know, in the COVID, in the first lockdown, and I felt so useless for society, because what is my purpose now? Because when I'm Talamasca, I know what is my purpose, to make people happy, to make them forget their problems, anyway, to make party. So this is my goal. But in the COVID, I was locked in my home, there was no dance floor, I didn't want to do music because there was no dance floor anyway. I don't make music for the radio, I make music for the dance floor, to play it. You know, so I really didn't feel like to play. So yeah, I realized that this is the only thing I know how to do in my life. This is what I did all my life. I mean, from 17 to now, and I'm almost 50. So yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, a very long career. And how was like? I want to go back because a lot of people look you as an inspiration. You were like a big icon, and there's a lot of DJs and people that want to make music. So. What was the reaction from your parents? Like, hey, I want to quit school. You were listening high school.
This was bad. This is not my advice. I wouldn't advise to do it, because I did it because I think that anyway. I mean, I was not an easy kid. I did 13 school. I was fired most of the time. So anyway, the normal scholarity was not my path from the start. But I regret that I stopped before the final exam, because I could have it easily. And now sometimes, you know, for my kids or in society, when I say that I don't have my final exam, I think like they think of me like I'm stupid. But I know, I mean, you know, like sometimes I feel bad about this. And also because when I stopped, I didn't stop alone. I stopped with few friends who wanted to become DJ also, and it didn't work that well for them. And And now they didn't do the final exam a little bit because of me. So I don't advise this. When my son is now 21, he asked me like 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago I played in a rock festival in France. I was closing the rock festival, France, Talamasca. But for the special event, especially that it was in my city, and it's a big rock festival with many famous bands. There was Offspring that year. And so what I did some remix of Linkin Park and Muse and some other rock bands. And I did a 1 hour show with a band. I had a drummer, I had Ivan that I bring from Argentina, Ivan Castro. I bring him for this concert to be, of course, the guitar. I had the singer, and I had as a second guitar my son, who was on stage with us. And after the stage, you know, he was so happy. He played in front of thousands of people for the first time in his life because he never, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was kind of to be with me on stage. But he plays well. So if not, if he was not playing well, I wouldn't let him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just because he's my son. But anyway, he asked me 2 years ago. He had already the final exam, but now he's in the school to become an engineer in robotics, industrial, blah, 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 you know, complicated. And he asked me, he said, Dad, I really enjoyed the experience with the music. Maybe I'm thinking to do music, you know, because he played the piano and the guitar very well, and he learned by himself. And so he's very talented, actually. But I told him, no, you cannot do my mistake. I mean, even if it was successful for me, it was a bit of luck. It was a bet. But I mean, you can be an engineer, finish the exam, finish the school. When you have the diploma, you want to try 1 year, only music, I will support you, whatever you want, but finish the diploma. And this is my advice to any of you. If you want to drop, if you are young and you want to drop school because you think this is your chance to be DJ, no. Get your diploma, because even DJ, okay, I'm one of the old ones now, but I mean, a DJ career is not always lifetime, you know, and you need to think of after also. So my advice would not be to do what I did, but to do the opposite. And then finish your exam, finish your whatever you do, and when you have the skill, okay, you try music, you try DJ, and if you are talented, it would work. This is how I see it, because many people think, it's about connection. Yeah, of course, if you don't send your music to anyone, nobody will listen and nobody will know, of course. And if you release only in the little label of your city, okay, it's cool, you support the scene of your city, but you will be the local one. I released my first Talamasca on Krembo Records in Israel. I've never been in Israel in that time. It was in 96, so 95, 96. I just knew that this label released some tracks that I really like. I sent them my music. And because, as a French, I released my music on an Israeli label, I became, from the first release, international, because now you know what I mean? They bring me in Israel, and I'm part of the label, of the Israeli label, but I am there foreigners now, because all the other artists are Israeli. You know? So I would advise the same thing. Don't, in the beginning, if you make good music, you must send it to, well, it's hard. The scene is different. I cannot compare my experience of the scene in 95 to 2000, so my 5 first years, let's say, with today, because today is a lot with the social media. You need to be very active, so it's a complete different scene. So I would just stick with the musical advice. Electronic music is music. It's just not, it's not just a program in the computer and you learn how to use the program and you learn the plugin, how it works. No, you need to learn music. And I saw so many very famous people, artists, DJ, who don't know nothing about music. You tell them, okay, let's make a track in G sharp minor. They don't know what I'm speaking about. And for me, this is a shame. And this brings the level of the trance down, to my eyes, compared to before. Because in the Goa time, because before psychedelic was the Goa trance, in the Goa trance time, there was no laptop, okay? If you want to make electronic music, you need to buy a big studio. I mean, you need to buy few scenes and a good computer and speakers, so you need to invest a lot of money. So if you were not a musician, what would you do it? You know what I mean? But today is very different. Oh, they see a tutorial on YouTube how to make kick bass. Oh, they have a laptop. They can easily find the crack of the program. So anybody can do. which is really good. Don't misunderstand me. It's really good that anybody can do, because if I take me as an example, okay, I was a piano player, but I was not a good piano player. I would never be a professional piano player in my life, because there is much better than me, and because I was just an average one. But I was already a composer, because I didn't like to learn Mozart and Bach, but I already composed my own tracks on the piano, so I understood the mechanism of the music. And what I mean is that today, in the music of today, basically 90% of what is released, I will not say names, but even in very famous labels, it's just kick bass. It's kick bass and few sounds, wow, pew, pew, in a delay, pew, 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 pew. Okay, and you make 7 minutes with this. And for me, this is boring. So I know that for some people, I'm the melodic guy, because I put melodies in my track, but because how I see the track, it's maybe different than the people of today, or this is the track. And this would be my second advice. When I make a track, first I need a story in the track. It's just not like I will not start by the intro and then let's see what will happen. No, I start by the end, because I want to know where I go. It's like if you write a book, you cannot begin, if it's a book, let's say about a police crime, and you need to resolve, there is enigma, okay? So you write a book. If you don't have the end of the book, you cannot put clues from the beginning. You understand? So you need to know the end of your book to start writing the beginning of the book. I think the same with the music. So I want to know the story of my track. So I start by the end, by the full part with all the transition, all the melodies and stuff. And then because I know that I will go there, I start from the beginning, building up to go there. Which is when I make music with other artists, I know that they don't do like this most of the time. So this is my kind of little technique. And that's it. So and then I will build the track with a lot of empty parts, because I know, okay, our music style is around 7 minutes track. So I want to know what is 7 minutes. So okay, first part, a little break, another part, and then the big melody here or anything. But I build the track even with empty parts. And when most of the people, they start from the beginning and they want to, okay, before to reach the first break, they want this first part to be perfect. But they don't know what will be after. In the first part, I want to put a little bit clues of the end, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's really an advice, it's a way of working. The real advice is to learn the musical rules. I was lucky enough that I learned the piano, so I understand all the chords and the scales. But if you want to make music, this would be, you can make electronic music without this knowledge. Okay, you can, because many people do. So I cannot say you can't. You can. You can. But if you know this on the top, it will be much better. It will be much richer, it will be much deeper. And when I speak about music, it's not necessarily melodies. Melody, people, you say melody, suddenly, they hear victory. Oh, melody can be dark. Okay, melody is not happy. Can be a very sad melody, can be a very melancholic or dark melody. It's not about being happy and melodic. And this is what people are confused sometimes with. They think that if you put too much music in the track, then I know some artists that they love, let's say they have one melody, they love it, but they don't want to put it because what people will think. Come on, man, this is sometimes what will make you the hit. You know, this little, like, okay, if you know my old tracks, because you speak of the past music, let's say one of my hit, Time Simulation or Frenchman in Tokyo, let's say, any of them, the melody, okay, Time Simulation, ta, 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 ta. It's not rich and deep, and I'm not proud of this melody so much. I can do it with one finger, and it's actually, I remember exactly now that I speak about it, Time Simulation. I wanted to prove a friend that I can do a beautiful melody with one finger and only white notes, because it's A minor. So A minor is only white notes, and I did a ta 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 ta, and then I wanted to delete it, but my wife came and said, no, please, I really love it, please put it in the track. I let it in the track, it became my biggest hit in that time. So it made me think that sometimes you need to put, okay, I'm a piano player, I know music, but the people who listen to my music, they are not. And I know that sometimes I'm too complicated, and I read some not documentary, I don't know how to say, some papers anyway, scientific experiments, that the people would never learn any instrument in their life, and if they don't listen a lot of music, if they are not melomans, if you put more than 7 sounds, they are lost. And in a melody, more than 4 notes, it's complicated for them. So sometimes I kept this, like for example, Frenchman in Tokyo, what was the melody? Dun, 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 dun. This melody, again, one finger, very easy melody, but it sticks in mind. And this is what people miss. In the new music of today, all the tracks, they are the same. You need not the big melody in the end that everybody, no, but the little 3, 4 notes with a specific sound that people will remember. And then after the party, you remember when he played the ta ta. Because if you remember the, you understand?
Yeah, for sure.
You need something to identify the track. So third advice, you make music, every track must be memorizable. After the party, I must be able to maybe a voice sample or a sound, but something that I can remember, and then identify. Then I will look for you on YouTube. I will say, okay, it was this guy, and he put, let's say, a very stupid idea. You stop the track in the middle, and you put a wolf. Ooh. You call it the wolf track. Doesn't matter the music, okay? Okay, if I like the track, after the party, what I do? I put your name on YouTube and the wolf. Yeah, and then I will find the track, and this is how you make it. If you make a track that have nothing to identify it, and then the name is something that doesn't mean anything or very, very blurry, how people will find you?
Yeah, like some mantra, some mahal.
So
yeah.
People need to think about this. To make music, you need to please the people that will listen to music. This is your goal. There are different kind of artists. I have this conversation with Dado many times because he's my favorite, one of my favorite, but we have completely different vision of making music. He would make track because he have an idea in mind and he knows that people will not like it. But still he will make it, and because this is the idea that he had in that time in mind. I cannot make something if I'm sure that the people will not like it. Just because I have this idea in mind, I want to try. No, what for? People will not like. And most of the case, he was right. People will not like. So you need to please the people. And even some people, they are very, very talented. You notice that any kind of music you speak about, the most talented person is never the most famous.
Yeah, no.
The most famous is the one that will speak to the bigger number. And the most talented will be very sharp in the style, so only specialists will appreciate. Like jazz. I mean, someone who never listen music or who don't play an instrument will not listen jazz. It's complicated music to listen, yeah? You need to be very meloman ear and to free jazz. For some people, free jazz is only noise. Noise with instruments, yeah?
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. You need to be... So the most famous, most of the time, I don't want to say it depends because Pink Floyd, for me, they are the best and they are the most talented and the most famous, you know. But what I mean is, especially with DJs, is that it's not because you are talented that you will be successful. You need to be talented, but you need to have taste that people will like. Because if you have super talent to do something that people don't like, it doesn't work, yeah? So you need talent, but you need also, I mean, come on, some people, they are weird, and they make weird music. When you make music, it's a piece of your mind. I believe like this.
Yeah.
And with all the respect that I have for high-tech music, which means not much, I met a lot of high-tech DJ. These are not normal person. I'm sorry. No, but I'm sorry because some of them, they are my friends. But I mean, if you have to define what is normal person, but I mean, it's not normal person. And to listen this dark and high-tech style, like I used to listen hardcore, so I understand, okay? Even if I don't like now, it doesn't mean that I don't understand. I understand why they like it. But I mean, even in that time of my life when I was listening hardcore, I was half punk. I mean, I was not a normal person. Okay, I was outside of society, and in a way, I enjoy to listen something that nobody like. You understand? So it's a little bit the same, I think, today with the high tech. And for me, you put your personality in your music. I speak about high tech because I have friends now and because we are inside trance, but if you want to speak about gothic music or punk or hardcore, it's the same. I mean, punk music, which I like. Depends. Not musically. This is what I understood. Yeah, this is actually very important. Punk, when I was listening punk, you have to understand that I came from classical music and heavy metal. So why would I choose punk in that time when I was teenager? Because musically, punk is shit. Even if I love some punk bands, the Sex Pistols I really love, I have so many good times. But musically it's shit. I mean, when I say shit, now let me rephrase because I don't want to say shit. It's good music. But it's like, okay, if you want to understand, Teletubbies is very well produced, the colors are beautiful on the TV, production is good, but intellectually it's poor. Yeah? So for me it's the same, okay, punk, the music, but the message, the attitude, and because all my friends, they were punk also, and this is what make they all sing. And I understood this with Kazi, for example, later, when he began with Chemical Crew. In the beginning of Chemical Crew, it was really hard trance, which in Europe didn't work so well because we had already techno. We had a lot of hard techno and hardcore parties in Europe. So when he arrived with Chemical Crew and his hard trance, it was not so hard in Europe for the people. It was like slow hardcore, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But for Mexico, for Brazil, South Africa, they didn't have a lot of developed hard scene. Suddenly, Asher came and, you know, like Skazi and Chemical Crew and hardcore music in the Psytrance party almost, yeah? But people liked it in that time. But it was not for the music. The music, and even him could tell you that the music in that time that he was making, musically, was poor. But the energy in it was very high. So you have to find the balance, you know, you have to find the balance. Music is not only music, and if you want to make your own music, you need to find your concept. It's a bit easy to say. I didn't choose my concept. It came naturally. It's also coming naturally. I mean, if I want to make a track that doesn't sound like Talamasca, I don't know how to do. I tried already. Every time they recognize me because I have my tricks, I have my bass, I have my kind of melodies. So even if I want to change, in the end, I come back, you know. Like I will try, I will start a new track with the new bass, new kind of bass. And then in the middle of the track, just to check, I will load one of my normal bass that I use, and come on, it's much better. Why I would change? You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So you all have your personality in your music, and when you make music, you don't decide exactly so much because it's a piece of you. So I don't know, it's in all the mess that I said. You have to understand, guys, I flew all day. I was last night in Germany. I had like maybe 11, I had 3 flights with 2 times 4 hours to wait. I'm super tired. So I speak. I don't remember all what I say. Maybe a lot of bullshit inside. So in all what I said, there must be 4 or 5 advice that could be useful for you.
And I appreciate, I know that you have a long flight. So we were talking from the airport to here, and
the flights are okay. What is bad for me is the time between the flights.
Yeah,
the 4 hours in Paris after the party in Hamburg, was falling asleep, and then the 4 hours in Mexico before to arrive in Monterrey, man, it was so long. It was long, but it's cool. No, I'm here, I'm happy, you see.
Yeah, no, and a lot of people is going to appreciate because, like I'm telling you, like if people go right now into your Instagram or your social media, they will see you playing in Hamburg and everything. But there was a Cedric that started into piano and music, and that background is important. Like to know the music chemistry, the music melody, the harmonies, know the major scale, minor scale, diminish. What
diminish?
Changed?
I think I'm the only one. As far as I know, I'm the only one who really used diminished chords.
I know.
And sus4 also, suspended 4. Maybe Space Cat. I think he used once, and
another shake.
Juno Reactor and Hallucinogen after Wishpongle, they use also kind of harmonies that I would use that nobody else would use in trance. But this is how you recognize also the one who have a music background and not, because it's not chords, the diminished chords. Because some people don't know what we will speak about, but if you play some instrument, diminished chords, you know, this is weird. You cannot find by luck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it sounds good. No, it sounds shit. I mean, alone, it sounds bad. It's a transition chord.
Yeah.
So it's just to make a tension and to be resolved. So if you don't know all this, it will be very hard to find. But today there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. I don't say that you need to learn the piano or the guitar or anything. You want to start the music now, you start the music now. But find some tutorial video on YouTube about solfège and the scales and all the harmonies, because you will need. It's not just kick, bass and some sounds. You need harmonies. There is every track there is a scale. Even if there is only one note in the bass, which I never do. I don't think I did in my life. I don't know how many tracks I've done, probably 400, something like this. I don't think I ever done one track with only one note bass, like today music.
No, never.
All
never.
the track, one note. It's not, I cannot. It's boring for me. So boring, I mean. So that's why actually psychedelic trance today, for me, is kind of boring. I appreciate 10% of it. It's sad to say, in a way, but it's true. I think today it's very monotonic, not musical, but the sound is good. Very good production. And so we need to find a balance.
Yeah, and people appreciate your music because you have a different proposal. You have a lot of melodic. Yeah, you were telling.
Some people don't like because of this also.
Yeah, because some people just want the balagan and you just want like the kick and the bass and everything. But there's a lot of people that appreciate the music. Talking about you, for example, the first track that I recall from you is Time Machine. I heard that track and I said like, wow. And then
Very old. Time Machine was on my first album, right?
Yeah. I know your music since forever.
I forgot the track, Time Machine. Wait.
Yeah, you have a lot of samples from the Back to the Future movie.
No, Time Machine is not from my first album. It's for sure. The Time Machine is recent, like 8 years. For me, it's recent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Time.
this Time Machine, no, I know exactly which one. Okay, it's a mashup between Popcorn, Jean-Michel Jarre, and Midnight Express from Giorgio Moroder. So this Time Machine track, not the album, but the track itself, in a way, for me, is a tribute to the fathers of electronic when I was teenager. Because these three ones that I said, Jean-Michel Jarre, I told you before, from the beginning, this is my biggest icon, let's say, the one who changed my way of thinking electronic music, then Juno Reactor because of the track. But before that, Vangelis, when I was kid, I was listening Vangelis Papatanasiou. He made the music for Chariots of Fire or the, what's the movie with Harrison Ford, the science fiction movie, come on, they just released a new version now.
Indiana Jones?
No,
sorry.
Science fiction.
Sorry.
With robots. Come on, very famous movie.
With robots, very famous movie?
Yeah, with clones and stuff. And they just made now a new, it's not Dune. Oh man, I'm ashamed. Well, anyway, Vangelis was making the music, but I didn't put Vangelis in that track. The track that you speak about, Time Machine, I put Jean-Michel Jarre, Giorgio Moroder, who made the music of Midnight Express.
Yeah.
And what was the third one? Popcorn. And Popcorn, it's amazing. Okay, was written by Kingston Hershey, if I remember well, but in '69, before I was born even, you know. And it's still today, when I play Time Machine, the Popcorn part, man, everybody dance, like smile on the dance floor, you know, it's a very happy track.
Yeah, I know it.
This was a tribute, this track is a tribute to the father of electronic music, to my eyes, and it was my first mashup, which gave me the idea of making the album of A Brief History of Goa Trance that I did. It was the album after Time Machine was A Brief History of Goa Trance, where I did exactly what you liked in Time Machine, but with astral projection, with Ethnica, with Juno Reactor, with Transwave, with Euphoria. I just took my favorite tracks of them in the Goa time. I found everything again, all the melodies, all the sounds I did again. This was really hard work. I put everything on the same key and I did a mashup like 5 tracks in one. Yeah. You know this album? Check this album, Brief History of Goa Trance.
Yeah, I think I heard some tracks, and that's a full album. Yeah, I have a lot of the psychedelic trance. They have a lot of music. Yeah, full albums. Well, with the one you made with Ivan, yeah, I hear that like.
Again, an album is a concept. So the one with Ivan, the concept was I found a guitar. I call him my little Ingrid Malmsteen, you know, because it's okay like this. Yeah. The studio every time I'm shocked, you know. So, okay, fine. Let me. Okay. The first day I find him, was in an after party in Argentina. We were in a house, everybody, let's say, a bit drunk. And I put the new album that was not released yet, so they didn't know it. And I saw this guy was plugging the guitar, and I was thinking, he will ruin it. I will hate it, for sure, because most of the time I don't like when the people, they improvise on my music. But man, from the first minute, I said, okay, I want to make album with you. And then I invite him in France, in my home, and he stayed like 2 or 3 months, and we made a full album, and it was killer experience. And till today, now, more than 10 years later, we are still very good friends, and we still make some tracks together, because for me, it's the best. But again, it was an album, and you have to understand, and I knew it when I released, that some people will not like it, because too many guitars. But again, it's an album. An album is a concept. And this is what I like also in the past compared to today. Today, it's like it's finished, the album. Now it's your EP, single. You make a track, poof, you release it now. It's cool. I don't do it actually so much. I don't do it so much because I like concept. For example, my next release now will be on United Beat and will be the 4 Seasons. Not the Vivaldi 4 Seasons, the Talamasca 4 Seasons. I just thought, okay, it's a concept. Winter and summer for sure. Even if it's trance and dance floor and Talamasca style, it's still different kind of sounds and atmosphere, you know. So I did the 4 Seasons, and I like it because it's a concept. But when I do just a track for a single, except if I do a Frenchman, I want to do now a Frenchman in Mexico, Frenchman in Brazil, Frenchman. I will do this now because it gives me an idea. Even if I release it like as single, there will be a concept. I will find some samples from the local culture, like if I do Frenchman in Mexico. I did recently the Mayan Prophecy with Unstable, Juan. My friend from Mexico, Unstable, and we did this collaboration track, and because it's from here, so I wanted to use some samples from here, you know, but not mariachi, you know. So before here was the Mayans. So I went to YouTube. YouTube is the sample mine, you know. So I went to YouTube, find some good Mayan language sample and Mayan sounds and use it in the track. And this is a concept, but if I just do a track, just okay to have one release now, I don't know, I don't feel like I don't have inspiration. But if I have like Zodiac, my Zodiac album, I have to translate the 12 signs in music. In a way, it's a challenge, you know, and before to begin the track, you know already this one will be fast, this one will be slower, this one will be cool, this one will be very energetic because of the signs, even if I don't believe in astrology. Understand? So this is how I work. And albums today, it's very rare. And I don't understand, well, yes, of course I understand why, because you release an album and the people, they will just take their favorite and put in their playlist. And the 9 others, they don't know. From the first listen. Maybe they would like it if they listen few more times, you know, but most of the time, this is how people listen music today. They just listen quickly, this one I like, put in the playlist.
Yeah, we are playlist people, and before we were album people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is before you talk. This is my favorite album. You love Pink Floyd. I don't know if you like The Wall or Dark Side of the Moon or Animals.
Middle is my favorite album of Pink Floyd ever. One of these days is my favorite track of Pink Floyd ever, but I can tell you why. Very fast. It's a funny story. When I was 14, I found this Pink Floyd album. I put it in my Mother Records. I put it in my room, and I found this track one of these days, and I felt in love with it so much that I recorded it on an audio tape in that time, A and B side. only this track. And I was listening to it all day long, every day. I was listening only this track. I was really into it. I didn't know why. And then a few years later, I went to my mother because I found the CD. Philips released the CD, wow, revolution. So I bought the CD of this album, and I went to visit my mother, and I put her the first track of this album, which is One of These Days, and I told her, listen, this track, I don't know why, I found it in your records when I was a kid, and I love it so much. And she told me, wow, it's so funny, because when I was pregnant from you, I was listening this track every day.
What the fuck?
So from this, man, when my wife was pregnant with my kid, every day 3 hours of music, jazz, classical music, punk, rock, heavy metal, variety, Madonna, everything. And my son today is a musician. I mean, he learned the piano and the guitar by himself.
Wow.
So I really believe in this.
Wow, I'm impressed with that.
And that's why also this is my favorite Pink Floyd album and track.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah,
it's real, huh?
No, I trust you, but yeah, a lot of people, I don't know if as of today, I don't have kids or anything, but they put Mozart to your kids. It was 90s stuff because they're going to grow and they're going to be smarter. But yeah, it's clear that you put like good music from or your inspiration.
And my son, he learned by himself how to play the piano and the guitar. I didn't teach him. He learned by himself and he's good. So I think it's connected, really.
Yeah, you're a great musician, so it's like he got you as an inspiration. So I think that he practiced.
Yeah, but also when he was a baby, I was putting music all the time, and not only trance. Actually, I didn't listen a lot of trance. For my kids, you have to understand, trance is music for all people, because it's for music for the parents. Who listen in the life of my kids? Who listen psytrance? Their parents and the friend of the parents.
Really?
But their friends, they don't listen psytrance. I mean, okay, now my son is 21, so some of them, yes. But when they were in school, I mean, nobody listened psytrance. They don't know the style even. It's music for old people.
Yeah,
for them, it was for old. And now they realize, okay, it's not, it's not like this. I'm the old one in the young people music.
Yeah, but I also a heavy metal guy. Maybe when I was younger, I don't know, maybe some tracks from jazz at that moment I did it, like Chick Corea. I hear the music, but I didn't understand it. But now I hear it and I appreciate the music. So I think it's evolution.
Yeah, of course, man. We don't listen to music the same way than before. For example, you know that in the time of Johann Sebastian Bach, it was forbidden to put notes together. A chord was forbidden. Okay. So that's why all the Bach is on its organ, and organ you have like the 2 feet and the 2 hands, and that's why, okay, it sounds like chord, but it's not chords, it's only arpeggio.
Yeah.
But arpeggio with 3 notes together, it makes a chord, but it's not a chord.
Yeah, it's
on
not
the same octave.
The one that's
and then if you want another thing about how we listen music differently in time, Gershwin was the first classical player who put some jazz chords in his music, if you know a little bit. And Gershwin had a student, which was also his lover, and it was Ravel. So you know the Bolero of Ravel? So the Bolero of Ravel, so Ravel was the student of Gershwin. Gershwin was very famous in the world in that time. And when they went, this I don't remember where it was, maybe France or Italy, but they went to a competition of classical music. And before they can play their music, they had to give the partition of the music, okay? And in the partition of the music, in the Bolero of Ravel, in the end of the Bolero, if you know the Bolero, in the end it's ta 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 ta, and there are some sounds that are out of tune, on purpose to make it weird, yeah. So he was disqualified because of this. Because of this, he was disqualified for one of the tunes that will become one of the biggest classical music piece, yeah? And so it shows you that in the time, the ear and about we listen music is very different. In the Middle Age, there was one forbidden note, the +6. It's hard for people to understand +6, but you know what I mean, yeah? The +6, like if you start on Do and you do 6, then you will be on F sharp. This was forbidden to play them together. It was the devil note, they call it. And today in heavy metal, you cannot play a track without this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what was forbidden before is allowed now, and what was sounding weird before sounds okay now. And with electronic music, we teach, how we say in the past, we taught our ears to be very open in so many kind of sounds that I think the next generation will listen music completely differently than us, completely. Because they will, I mean, our background is still analogic music, but the next generation, the background will be directly electronic music. And I don't know if it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a very complex because maybe 1 year ago I was more worried about AI because now people can do everything with AI.
I love AI, man. I do it.
I do
Videos on AI.
I use it.
I do a lot of covers for my new covers now. It's AI. I do covers for my friends. I do the cover of Punk Rocket, some Striker. I do some flyers for friends. So yeah, I'm really into it. I even created my own models in my computer. I give him a lot of flyers and CD covers that I love in the same style every time to have kind of filters. So now I have my own filters that only me have because I choose my favorite flyers from festivals, which is already psychedelic. You know, so no, AI, man, again, it's an assistant. Even ChatGPT, I use a lot. I use ChatGPT for many things, man. If you know ChatGPT in Mexico.
Yeah, I use it. I have the premium and I pay for it.
I use a lot for everything. Even to make AI image, I use ChatGPT to make the prompt better than me because my English is not perfect,
Yeah.
So I use ChatGPT for everything. Last time I had to write for the teacher of my daughter at school, ChatGPT. Of course, man.
Yeah, no.
I love AI.
I was talking with one,
but I think it's dangerous. No, I don't think it's dangerous. I think it's good. I think it's technology for the humanity to help humanity and to rise. But like internet, there are some bad sides. Yeah, internet, there is the dark net, and there are some pedophiles, and there are some drugs, and this is the bad side. But if you compare the good compared to the bad, there is much more good. Yeah, I mean, for humanity, internet did much more good than bad, I think. And I think the AI revolution that we are living now is the same. It's good for humanity. It's an assistant. Now, I understand that people can be afraid of it. And some jobs will disappear, for sure. But some others will be created. I mean, in the industrial area, when in the 19th century and everything became industrial, many jobs were lost, but many others were created. And for humanity, for the planet, maybe it was not so good, but for our way of living, was good. Come on, you know. So there is two ways of seeing the bottle: half empty or half full. Yeah, always. Better to see it half full.
Yeah, it's a good tool. Let's see what will happen next when AI goes into DOS, into Logic or Cubase. Let's see what happens. Because you have a lot of VSTs with algorithms that can help you to create melodies, that can help you to...
Yeah, I'm not against it. And even if I know all the scales and the harmony, I would use it, man. I would use it. I already tried because I'm really into the AI. So I went to some AI music generator. Musically, music is mathematics. From the start, I mean, it's only frequencies. The do here and do here is just double frequency, I mean, in mathematics. So music is mathematics. So music is very easy for a computer to reproduce and without any mistake. Now, feeling, can a computer create feeling? I don't know. But I guess yes, because if you teach him 1 million songs of, I mean, this is sad, this is happy, and you ask him to make happy, he will know what is happy. He will not do a minor song if you want happy. You know what I mean? Like, for a computer to make music is easy, but to make the sound, there is still a lot of work to do, I think. But still, it will be fast because now I spoke with Striker, who is doing my mastering. He's doing my mastering and the mastering of so many. I mean, he's the mastering master of the Psytrance today, I think. And I spoke with him about it, and he told me that the AI today, now, very soon will blast also for mastering, and it will be different, but I mean, for basic mastering, it will be good enough.
Yeah,
So yeah, jobs will disappear, but some others will be created, and it will, like, okay, now I do my image, my cover, and my videos by myself, and I'm not a graphic guy. I don't know how to draw, but well, I make electronic music. I make music from electricity. There is not even a real instrument, and even if I used to play the piano, yeah, okay. As I told you before, I would never be a professional piano player because I was not a super good piano player. So, in a way, if I was born 20 years before and there was no electronic music, 20 years before my born, not before now, okay, then I wouldn't be a musician because I couldn't play an instrument. But the computer gave me the opportunity to achieve my ideas that I have in my mind through the mouse and the screen, yeah? It's the same with AI. Like, okay, I don't know how to draw, but I have many ideas for images. And now I have an assistant that can help me to achieve this idea that I have in my mind. So, why would it be bad? Just because I didn't learn how to draw, I'm not allowed to have good ideas and to achieve them with it, you understand? So I understand that people are pissed with this, like graphic guys, come on, they will lose some jobs. But some of them, man, I have bad experiments also with them. Graphic people, you depend on them. You need a cover for an album, you say, okay, I don't want green, I don't want purple, I don't want insects. And the day after, he show you ant, green and purple, just to show you are wrong. You know, sometimes artists.
Yeah. And then you need to wait for them to answer.
So now the AI, I can do my own music. I will do the cover of my own album and I will do the video for my music with the idea that I have in my mind. Why would it be bad? Because someone else will lose a job? I don't care.
It's more
you understand?
practical.
I mean, for me, I prefer to do by myself what I have in my mind and not to depend on someone who will anyway change it because of his taste and because of his background and anything. So I think AI is good, and even for music. Let's say, okay, you are not very good in melodies, or you didn't follow my advice and you didn't learn music. With AI, you will just give him the root key of your track and he will offer you some melodies that if you like, you will take and you will put with your own sound. And even if it's the AI who choose the melody, he can choose 100, he can make 100, you will choose one. So it's still your choice. You understand? Like sometimes I made tracks with some people that are not famous, but they were in the studio with me and they didn't touch even the mouse. They were just behind speaking about ideas, but it changed the track. If they were not here, the track would be completely different. Yeah? So it's kind of the same. It's my choice, and I think AI is an assistant and people shouldn't be afraid of it, but should study it and embrace it to not suffer from it, because it's good for them if they use it. It will be bad if they are afraid of it and they will see everybody else use it except them, then yeah, it's bad for them, yeah. But if they use it, it will be good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Exactly, I see now the time, I play in 20 minutes. I think we should finish because I want to hear a little bit of the atmosphere of the party and to get in the mood. 20 minutes is soon.
I understand. No, I want to thank you for your time, for your experience. We can keep talking about music.
Yeah, this would be hours, man. I mean, Last time in Canada, I think I did 4 hours like this.
We can stay all night talking. Yeah, so you talk about your next, you're launching an album soon. What's your social media? Where people can follow you and see you? What do you recommend?
Well, I should be much more active. I'm not super active on Instagram. Everybody tell me, but I don't know what to do. I will show you my dog. I will show you what I eat tonight. If I don't have something to show, I don't show. And parties, when I play, I'm not shy, but sometimes I feel a little bit uncomfortable to film myself while playing in the party and to turn the back to the people. I don't know, I feel bad about it, and I shouldn't. But I have an Instagram, of course, Talamasca_official, and Facebook is Talamasca, and they are linked. I don't do TikTok, I don't do the rest yet. My kids want me to do, so I will maybe follow their advice. But I'm easy to find, Talamasca anyway. It's not such a common name.
That's good. Well, let me change to Spanish to close the episode, but I want to thank you so much for this.
Gracias a todos, para todos los tiempos. For all this time in Mexico, I don't know what you say, but you understand it.
Bueno, a todos los que escucharon o vieron ese capítulo del like, compartan, sigan a Cedric Talamasca en todas sus redes sociales. Muchas gracias por todo su apoyo, los quiero mucho y nos vemos en el próximo capítulo. Hasta luego.